Afternoon everybody, Silbolt here, back from the Transformers review. Had numerous requests for him, so I thought it's about time he got his own video. So here we are today doing Powermaster Optimus Prime. Now, as most people are aware, the Generation 1 cartoon series ended with the rebirth in Series 4, Episodes 1, 2 and 3. However, Hasbro weren't done making toys, so they had to carry it on in some way so it carries on in the comics. Now, with the arrival of the Autobots and Decepticons and Nebulos, you had the introduction of the Target Masters and the Headmasters. However, you were supposed to get the Power Masters as well. There was a fourth group called the Action Masters, but that's a slightly different storyline altogether, developed by Simon Furman. Or partly developed by Simon Furman. And I'll get to that when I, at some point, get some Action Master toys. But anyway, the story of the Power Masters, comes along in the comics, and it's in the Marvel comics. You've got Nebulos. It was a relatively peaceful planet, apart from the Hive stealing people every now and then. Then the Autobots and Decepticons come along, and as well as smashing up the planet, to add insult to injury, two of the political leaders, as in Gort and Zarek, bugger off. They piss off into space with the Autobots and the Decepticons. So, the people of Nebulos, who have watched their planet get demolished by the fighting between the Autobots and Decepticons, and their leaders buggering off, aren't too impressed. So, one of their scientists, called Haikyuu, or Hick, if you take out the hyphen. Either way, it's still a bad name, whichever way you look at it. One way he's a Japanese poem, the other way he's a hick. But anyway, Haikyuu goes and develops a kind of like a bomb, which he fills with a certain type of radiation, which he releases into the atmosphere of the planet. Now, the bomb itself and the radiation itself is harmless to the indigenous life, i.e. the other Nebulos. However, it contaminates the substances that the Transformers use for fuel, and shuts them down. Despite these warnings, and despite knowing what's going to happen, two Decepticons, Dreadwind and Darkwing, so it's very hard getting those two names correct, because if you combine the two, they become Darkwing. So, it's all DWs everywhere. But anyway, these two show up on the planet, and promptly go into stasis lock. And they're viewed as a bit of a tourist attraction by the other Nebulons. And it shows that Haikyuu's skills and Haikyuu's plan has worked perfectly. It's worked perfectly. However, all is not well. Haikyuu has a partner called High-Test. I didn't make these names up. And he's rather jealous of the fact that Haikyuu's getting all this fame and attention and glory and everything. So he teams up with another Nebulon criminal, with a Nebulon criminal called Throttle. Now, I don't believe the guy's actually in relation to the Hive. And they design the Power Master system, which is where they turn their bodies into power packs, which they then binary fuse, similar to the Headmaster and the Target Master technologies. Because, of course, Target Masters, even though they may look like a gun, they're much more than just a gun. They have, they're much more accurate, they're much better firepowered and all that kind of stuff. And they binary bond themselves to the two Decepticons, reviving them, who promptly decide they're going to stomp on everything, because there's nothing on Nebulos that can stop them. In the meantime, Goldbug arrives on Nebulos from Earth, and he brings a couple of people with him. And they're looking for a new body for the mind of Optimus Prime. Now, why Optimus Prime's mind needs a new body, I don't know. I think it may be something to do with the underbase, but I'm not entirely sure. So if anybody does know why Prime needs a new body, you can just post a video response or put it in the comments or something like that, because I really don't know. But anyway, Haikyuu at first wants nothing to do with it. However, the Autobots refuse to leave. And they end up fighting the two Decepticon Power Masters, and eventually getting themselves shut down into stasis lock because they use up all their energy to do it. Haikyuu, seeing this, builds a body for Optimus Prime and puts his mind into it. And you get... Hang on, I'll take this out for now. Come here. You get Optimus Prime. Complete with trailer, obviously. However, Optimus Prime still has the same problem that everybody else does. And he promptly keels over. You know, it's rather rude awakening for Optimus Prime there, you know. Ah, I'm back! Donk! Haikyuu decides that he too will join the Powermaster cause and makes himself a Powermaster for Optimus Prime. However, there's still a problem, and it doesn't really show up until later on, after they've basically beaten the crap out of Darkwing and they've buggered off. Optimus Prime needs to go to Cybertron in order to stop the Great Chaos Bringer, Unicron. Now, from this point of view, where the Marvel Comics are concerned, it would appear that the final storylines with the Power Masters are the end of the G1 cartoon comic continuity. With the Neo, with a group called the Neo Knights, whose leader is called Circuit Breaker, they go off and stop Unicron. However, Prime is having problems in that he keeps going into convulsions and he has bursts of great pain, and it's because he's not the Powermaster process that Haikyuu has developed isn't flawless, so he still has problems from the exposure. Prime eventually does a Prime and sacrifices himself, but in doing so, Haikyuu, who is of course binary bonded to Optimus Prime, ends up having Prime's being almost downloaded into himself, so they become in essence one being. This in turn leads up to the storyline revolving the Last Autobot, which is another one of Primus's creations, and he's similar to, I suppose in some regards, Father Time from the Narnia Chronicles, in that he will wake up just in time for the last battle. And it supposedly, from what I've been able to ascertain, it ends the storyline there. The Last Autobot wakes up, gives Prime a new body, and they promptly beat the snot out of the Decepticons, who leave forever and decide they don't want to fight anymore because the Autobots are now self-regenerating, or something along those lines. It seems very strange. Okay, that's the story of the Power Masters. Now, the Power Masters in Japan have a slightly different line in the stories of Super God Master Force, and the scientist that is Haikyuu has, I think, a much better name in Jinrai. And he's part of the group of Transformers, humans and Transformers, called the Godmasters. And in some way that sounds pretty much better. Now, I'd much rather be a Godmaster. But yes, that's along the lines of the story of the Power Masters. As I said, the Action Masters have a different storyline to themselves, and I will get to them at some point. Though I don't think I'll be buying any more Transformers toys this month, after I've spent a bit of money the other day, and you'll probably find out this week on what. But I'm excited. I can't wait. But anyway, different video planned altogether, and believe me, that one is planned. Right then, and I'm not going to tell you what I've got either. You'll just have to wait and see. Don't worry, I'll have a great big shit-eating grin on my face. Anyway, onto the toy itself. Now, the Target Masters didn't have a gimmick. You had a man that transformed into a gun that a Transformer could hold. That was it. The Headmasters, on the other hand, had a slight gimmick in that you put the head in, and in the chest plate, the things popped up to designate strength, intelligence, and speed. That was something that they did. However, the Power Master gimmick was much more integral to the design of the Transformers themselves. For instance, on Power Master Prime, I've got Haikyuu in my hand. He's not in the chest piece. You can't pull the legs down. Well, I can bend them at the knee. Well, you can, but I'll probably break it. And after Masterpiece Megatron, I'm very dubious about any Transformer noise that makes loud clicking noises. Which is why I'm not going to transform into his base mode, because my Power Master Prime is extremely stiff. Anyway, but if you push in Haikyuu, I'm blocking my overview of the camera here. But if you push him in like that, he's a little stiff, and he is prone to going bing which is what happened in the last shot of the video, and I went, bleh! But anyway, if you pull this, you can now pull the legs down. Ah. Wonders of modern technology, huh? And you can finish off transforming that which is Optimus Prime as he stands. With Haikyuu, if he was upside down, we'd be staring into his ass. There's Optimus Prime, Powermaster mode. However, Optimus Prime comes with a truck. Of course he does. Optimus Prime has to come with the truck. So, you do this, you pull out the guns, snap the fold edge, snap these edges down. Really, really simple transformation. 5-year-old can do it. Notice I say a 5-year-old can do it, and this is about the only video I've ever done where I haven't had a problem transforming it. There was no degradation like self-degradation. Anyway, here we have Big Uber Optimus Prime. Well, Powermaster Prime. Body piece. And transforming Optimus again, who is really, really simple. And just, you got him in truck, and you just push that bit up like that. So you form this kind of like, suppose, all spark cube. Yeah. Plonk that in the middle, and then you lift. Ah, it's not going to work. Never mind. I was going to do a bad joke about lifting up the head, but it won't work because it's facing the wrong way. But there we go. And you pop that in, and there you have Powermaster Optimus Prime, big badass Prime. Who does that? That's it. Well, mind you, if you do a little bit of repositioning, you can get Optimus Prime to tilt his head a bit like that, and there we go. You can get him to do that a bit, but it doesn't really work. But anyway, that's the toy itself. Very, very nice toy. I have to say, I love this toy. I love this toy. Now, funnily enough, I had a video when I was younger, and it was a Transformers video. Well, obviously. And it was either Desertion of the Dinobots or The Return of Optimus Prime. But I must have had this when I was very, very young. And on it, it had a picture of an Optimus Prime with these huge bulky legs and these two massive arm cannons up here and this great big hand cannon. And I, for the life of me, didn't have a clue what it was. Obviously, looking at it now, it was Powermaster Prime. Because, of course, they tried to... there was actually a dodgy 5th series which had Powermaster Prime being done by stop motion and basically just rehashing old Transformers cartoon episodes. It was basically along the lines that Hasbro could promote their new Uber toy. Which is, and I have to say, it is an Uber toy. It is an Uber toy. On eBay, Powermaster Prime won't set you back that much. However, the one thing I will suggest is make sure that you have this with it. That he comes, that the Powermaster, whichever Powermaster you buy, comes with Haikyuu. Because all the Powermasters have the same thing. If you don't have the robot partner, the binary partner, you can't transform him properly without snapping it or without it already being broken. So you've got to be very careful. Unless you can maybe find one auction for one and one auction for another. Be careful when you buy them. Right. The other thing as well is, you try, if you're going to get him, make sure that he'll actually sit in, that the spring's not broken and the clips aren't broken in there. Because it's like on eBay. You know, you try to buy one of the headmasters, and you find 3 kinds of auctions. You find an auction for a head, an auction for a body, or an auction at a ridiculously high price for the full thing. I mean, why would you sell a head? Why would anybody buy a headmaster without a head? It's got no point. You know, it's like, bleh. But anyway, that's not the point. Powermaster Prime shouldn't set you back that much. I picked him up for about 20 quid. I have the 2 Decepticon planes as well. The ones that form into Darkwing. Dreadwing. Darkwing, Dreadwing become Darkwing. There we go. That's really confusing to remember. I have them as well, but they were given to me by a friend, so I'm actually missing Wouldn't you know it, I'm actually missing the binary partner, which I still must get at some point. But anyway, look, that's neither here nor there. You shouldn't set you back too much, but some of the Power Masters will. Optimus Prime, of course, is a much more well-known one, so he's a lot cheaper. And obviously he was put out on the shelves in greater quantities than the others. So he's quite a bit cheaper, considering the fact that he is the biggest. But yes, very, very nice toy. I do like this. It's got all the posability of a rock, you know, that's the most you can do with it. You can't really realistically even turn the head. You can't move the legs at all. You can turn him into a base who almost looks like a cross between Metroplex and Fort Max. I don't know. But the base does look quite funky. As I said though, mine is very, very stiff. So I didn't want to transform him, because I've done it once and it was like, that's not supposed to make that noise. But yes, Power Master Optimus Prime. I think I've said pretty much all that can be said about it. I will sign off for now, and I shall be back hopefully this week with another video. For now, this is Silverbolt with Power Master Prime and Haikyuu signing off, or God Jinray, as I think is a much preferable name. And there we go. See, springs out. But anyway, so sayonara, adios, I'll leave it.